Hello, I'm Shelby of Aaron's Horsemanship, and I want to talk a little bit about rope halters. I have two different styles here. This one here, this is a 2-knot rope halter. So when it's on the horse, there's a knot on either side of their face, on the sides of their nose. The other one is this one. It's a 4-knot rope halter. You're going to come back here. The 4-knot rope halter not only has the knots on the side, but it has 2 on the top. There's a big difference in situations that I use these rope halters. This rope halter is going to be a lot more gentle than this rope halter. The reason being is I've got this whole big flat piece of the rope for the halter on the nose, and I do have the knots on the sides. These knots on the sides are really set up so that the rope goes in the right places and doesn't go in their eye. But it also does aid in helping direct our horses. This 4-knot one, it not only has the knots on the side, but we have extra pressure points on the nose. Oh, you want your turn? She wants her turn. So we're going to slip this halter on here. This is the type of halter I prefer, but there are occasionally horses that need a little bit more. Maybe they've troubled in some way or in form or another. So I'm just going to ask her head down. I'm going to slide this halter on. Maybe it's different putting them on without a lead rope. I'm not going to go into tying a knot. There's a million videos on there on the halter. But see, when this is sitting on here, the knots are down low. These knots are a little bit low for this horse, but the nose piece of this halter is lying nice and flat. So I can control the horse, and I'm not really putting a lot of pressure on the horse using these knots. Now, this halter, this 4-knot halter, take this one off. You're not any help over there. Oh, this horse is pretty special. So I'm going to slide this halter on. And this halter actually fits this horse even worse, but when I set it up here, I have these knots are in the wrong place for this horse. But then you see how this doesn't really sit. It sits a little bit flat on the top here, but then we've got these knots. So knots on the side. So if I move this side to side, it's putting pressure right here. So that's why it's really important to know which rope halter to use with your particular horse and your particular situation. This halter can be used for anything and everything, and 90% of your horses are going to respond to it. It's gentle, there's no metal, it's just going to stick to your horse better and help you communicate a little bit better. This halter here, it can potentially do the same thing, but there's a little more bite to it. There's a little bit more pressure that goes into it. I know people that this is all they use, but I want my horses as light as possible. I want them as responsive as possible without using excess pressure. I want them to follow me. I want them to work for me. This will help get a horse that's a little bit disobedient or maybe pulls. This is step one to help fix that. That's when I would use this. I'll use these on some horses that have just been lunged in a flat halter because they're usually pulling on me. I'll use this temporarily for a few days, a week. Then I'll transfer over to just the flat one because I don't want to keep them in this. Kind of like if you want to get your horses nice and light and responsive to your leg, you can't use your spurs all the time. You just use them when you need them, and you try to break the habit of it being a crutch and then an aid. These can be an aid to help put your horse together and help it quit pulling and listen a little better. But if you use it all the time, it can become a crutch. That's no good either. So we got to balance it. Everything in horsemanship is balanced. Mental, emotional, physical. This is no different. So there's a couple tips and a couple examples of rope halters. Hope this helps you out. So thank you. Enjoy your day. Enjoy your ride. Enjoy your horses. And enjoy your lives.